Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be going over the January 2021 monthly budget. I'm super excited because I just feel like we have exciting things in store for us. We're going to be starting on a different journey in our lives and I'm just super excited about it. I will say we don't have a whole lot going on in the month of January. I was hard pressed to think of goals and to-dos and things like that, but I mean, I don't really think that that's a bad thing to not have a bunch of, financial obligations. So without further ado, if you want to see how we're going to be spending our money for the month of January, then please keep watching. So starting out with the to-dos, we do have to pay our annual HOA fees. We closed on this house last December, so they got us real quick. They sent a letter in the mail and we had to pay our HOA fees for that January. And so same thing holds true for this January. Shout out to them for sending a letter in the mail. Otherwise they probably wouldn't have gotten their money. Although I feel like maybe I set it up on auto pay, but then maybe I didn't. Either way, I'll go in January 1 and pay our HOA fees. Next up, I have a birthday in the month of January. Not I, my friend's birthday, one of my best friend's birthdays is in the month of January. So I am going to be giving her a gift. And then also skipping right down below to travel home. I'm actually going to be traveling home to visit her for her birthday as well. Moving back up, I have get final quote for our truck. So we have the truck in the shop right now. Our mechanic is really moving heaven and earth trying to find the part at the cheapest rate. So we're kind of just waiting around for him to do that. It's really no big rush. We obviously already have 2 vehicles and we've gone our whole lives without having a truck. So it's really not that big of a deal. So we're kind of just letting him do his thing. And when he gets back to us, he will get back to us. Finally, I think we are going to try out a new cell phone carrier. I'm kind of a creature of habit, so I don't like to be bouncing around a whole lot between like just anything realistically, but I feel like we've had AT&T prepay for some years and I just want to make sure we are, getting the bang for our buck, and I'm just going to explore some other cell phone carriers out there and kind of see what's what, basically is what that means, because I don't want to be, stuck just having that auto pay come out every single month without, exploring other options and making sure we are getting the bang for our buck. Moving on to goals. So as you guys know, we are in this rut along with, I wouldn't really call it a rut, but basically the student loan payments keep getting extended, and as they keep getting extended, we keep keeping the money, all of that money in our savings account, and it just basically is just accruing some interest, and it's accruing some decent interest, I would like to think, in conjunction with the other money that's in there as well. So student loans are supposed to be due at this very moment, like as far as I know, at this very moment, January the 31st. If they don't get extended anymore, we will pay off the loans in January, but if they do get extended, then we're just gonna ride that wave as well, because we're coming up on almost a year. So as you can imagine, that's some pretty good interest that we have accrued. So anyway, may or may not be paying off the student loans. Either way, I do have another to do where I want to make sure I'm staying up to date. Obviously, I've been doing that thus far, but I definitely want to ensure that that's taking place in the new year, because, I feel like I don't know how many times the student loan deadline is going to be extended, but either way, if it continues to be extended, we'll definitely continue to take advantage of it, but we'll have to see. Another goal is to complete this new business venture. I'll be honest with y'all, it's like 95% of the way ready to go. My ambivalence, I have my own personal ambivalence about launching, and do I think it's gonna help a bunch of people? Yes. Am I excited about it? Yes. Am I fit for the job? Yes. Like, do I really think it's gonna be a hit? Personally, I think it's gonna fill my bucket, and it's not gonna be something that's just a waste, is what I'm trying to say. But I do have a little ambivalence, because I know as soon as I launch, I'm gonna be all in and trying to make sure I'm doing the best that I can be doing, and I just wanna make sure I'm not taking on more than what I can chew. In a perfect world, I've already kind of like prefaced this with my supervisor, I do think in 2021 I'm gonna drop down to 32 hours at work, which is still considered full-time. So I'm gonna see how that goes. If that does happen, that will give me a little bit more push to go ahead and launch, and just really it'll give me a push to launch this, but it's really just gonna open up, it's just gonna free up 8 hours of my time, 8+ hours, if you factor in a commute, for a day not spent at my full-time job or going over to my full-time job. So I think that once I make that commitment, then this will be that much easier to launch. So anyway, stay tuned for that. Next up, we do want to invest $3,000 to $4,000 in the month of January. We'll talk about that in like 2 seconds when we get down to our major money goal for January. And then I would also like to earn an additional $1,000 by whatever means necessary. I will not by whatever means necessary, not by any means necessary, but like that's just something that I want to do in the month of January. In the month of January, looks like we're going to have 7 paydays from our full-time jobs, 5 from my husband, he gets paid every Friday, and 2 from my full-time job. Our major money goal for the month of January is to invest a minimum of $3,000. Now, fun fact, the $3,000 is going to be withdrawn from our financial advisor on January the 1st. I actually transferred the money today. I transferred the money from a different bank, and the reason why I had to transfer it today, which is like a week before January, is because it takes a while to transfer between 2 different banks if you don't have like if the banks don't have like certain features. So anyway, that money's supposed to hit at the end of December. The money's gonna be snatched January 1, and so it will begin our FIRE movement. I do have a video coming soon about our financial goals for 2021. I mean, we don't have a lot, but I figured I would share those with you guys anyway and just break them down and just make them make sense for you guys. So anyway, we do want to invest a minimum of $3,000, but if we have any wiggle room, which we'll talk about where we might find a little wiggle room, we do want to invest an additional $1,000 in the month of January. Regarding our current debt, it is my husband's student loans at $12,704.48. Again, we have the money for that, just waiting to pull the trigger. A little nervous about that too. I mean, that's a lot of money that we've been sitting on for a while, but you know, whatever. So let's go ahead and dive into our actual budget. So in the month of January, I'm trying something new mentally. We've been trying this for a couple of months in preparation for January because we knew that investing was not going to be optional, and we knew that we were going to have to be tighter with our budget in the month of January because we were going to be setting up automatic payments for our investing, and we weren't going to be playing around. So I've kind of been doing this for Q4. Like I said, it was in preparation. It has been in preparation for 2021. So first up, we are going to be paying ourselves $10,000. So this $10,000 is basically going to be after all of our payroll deductions at our full-time jobs, after setting aside money for business expenses, after setting aside money for business taxes, which is normally I try to save about 20% or so of our business income each month. It's gonna be basically after everything. This is money that we can rightfully spend however we want to spend it in the month of January. This is definitely going to be a higher income month than normal for sure, and that's because I've been continuing to receive payments from, campaigns and work that I have been doing in Q4. So total income $10,000, total bills / expenses $10,000. We do a zero-based budget. That means our income is the same as our bills / expenses because we account for every single dollar. We budget every single dollar down to debt payments, down to savings, down to investing. We budget every single dollar just so we don't leave any dollar to chance. So let's go ahead and talk about how we're going to spend the $10,000. First up, we have our mortgage that is fixed. That is going to be $1,471.46. That has been the same amount since we moved in here last December. Next up, we have security. That is a fixed amount as well. It is $51.47 every single month, and that's just for security for our home. Next up, we have electricity. That is $113.49. That's not fixed, but I do have the bill ahead of time, like before the new month starts. So while it won't change in the month of January, the bill is going to be the bill. It is technically a variable expense, but our electricity is going to be $113.49, which I'm kind of proud of because I didn't know what was going to be what with like our Christmas lights and our Christmas trees and all of that, but not too bad. Next up, we have our phone bill that is fixed. That is for unlimited for me. And that's mainly because I'm always running out of data due to always being on my phone due to working from my phone. But my husband rarely uses his phone, and I will say like at work, he actually works. So when he's home, he's on Wi-Fi. So he pretty much never runs out of data. If he did, we would bump up his as well. But as of right now, we are paying $86.50, and we pay that every single month through AT&T prepaid. Next up, we have cable / internet. That's a fixed amount. That is $129.34. It doesn't really fluctuate or vary at all unless we like buy a channel or something like that, which we never do. That would be the only reason why it would fluctuate. But since we've been living here and having to use AT&T and DirecTV our bill for like our actual bill each month is $129.34. That is for the highest speed of internet, and we do have a decent amount of channels. Next up, we have water/sewer. I am budgeting $35.54. I've realized in recent months that our bill has been $35.54, and I think that's the minimum amount that we have to pay for water/sewer. Otherwise, it would be higher. Like in the summer months, we run our sprinklers to water our grass and whatnot, and sometimes our bill can be upwards of like 45, 50, maybe even 60. So I think $35.54 is the lowest that it could possibly be. So with our normal washing clothes and dishes, running the dishwasher, all of that stuff, we sit at about $35.54, which again, like I said, I think is the lowest that it can be. Next up, we have our reckless AF funds, aka our allowances. And we are going to be budgeting $200 for the both of us. Really, that's like $100 a piece, but recently I have combined them because it always just seemed like either I was over a little bit or my husband was over a little bit, or I was under a little bit, my husband was under a little bit. So either way, our average was like 200. So I just have it for 200. During some months, like our birthday months and anniversary months, or times where spending may be a little higher, I may do like 250, but we definitely never go over 250 for reckless spending. Next up, we have donations/gifts. I am planning to gift my friend. Normally we do gifts of about $100 or so. Of course I am going to her, so maybe I'll like pay for her food if we go out to like a dinner for her, or if I take her out to dinner or lunch or something, or and maybe give her some other gift. I don't know, but I'm doing like $100 for her. I always do budget a little bit more for other random giving, like donating to people who ask for money, you know, like on the street, or oftentimes at work we have like baby shower funds that we contribute to if somebody has a baby shower coming up, or a wedding or something like that. So I always try to budget for those types of things. This is a small amount of the giving that we do every single month, but I like to have a little bit budgeted in for those like that smaller giving, if you will. Next up, we have toiletries. We budget about $50 each month for toiletries, toilet paper, paper towels, those types of things. Next up, we have beauty. That is going to be $150. My husband hasn't gotten a haircut since COVID, so he's been getting his hair like in little styles, braids and things of the sort. Of course, I like to keep my hair done. Beauty could also mean like nails and feet and stuff like that as well. So because my husband is also getting his hair done and stuff like that, I am budgeting $150 for the month of January. Next up, we have travel. I have budgeted $500 for that. That's a little steep. Whenever I go home, I just crash on somebody's couch and then I just spend money going to my hometown favorites. Of course, I have to pay for toll money if I'm driving, which I always drive home. And also I have to pay for gas. So $500 is a little steep, but that is because this may be for 2 trips home. So my husband's grandma actually recently passed away, and so they are currently in the process of trying to figure out arrangements for her, which looks like it's gonna have to take place after the Christmas holiday, for which case I'm thinking it'll be somewhere around either like the tail end of December or maybe like the beginning of January, for which case, let's say it's January 1 and we come back home January 2, then that's money that, you know, will have to be a part of the January budget that we'll be spending at home. And then of course I'm going home for my friend's birthday. So that'll be 2 trips home in the month of January. And I think $500 should be good for that. Next up, we have house. As mentioned before, we do have to pay our HOA fees. So that's gonna be $200 coming out of that line item, just simply for our HOA fees. And then we always budget a couple of $100 just for things that we need to purchase that we didn't have to purchase as renters, like step ladders or regular ladders or drills or drill bits, or, you know, those types of things. Also a little decor. Obviously I'm still decorating. I'm getting closer and closer to being finished, but I am still in the process of decorating, so some of that money is for decor as well. Next up, we have miscellaneous. We budget $100 for miscellaneous each and every month. That is because, you know, it is unlikely that we'll go a month without having to spend money on something that we didn't budget for, because, you know, some things you just can't really budget for. Some things just pop up, like, I don't know, a parking ticket or something like that, and you just need to be able to account for that money somewhere. So that's what the miscellaneous category is for. Gas for our cars, $120. We pretty much do $120 every single month. Then we have car insurance. We don't have to pay car insurance again until June because we just paid our 6-month premium at the beginning of December. So we don't have to pay again until June, and then we'll pay our 6-month premium again next June. Next up, health insurance. I have health insurance through my job, and my husband's health insurance, like if he were to get it through his job, it would be like a crazy amount, and it would be an even crazier amount to put him on my insurance. So we just pay for his insurance solo dolo, and that is $218.61 every single month. Life insurance for the both of us is $42.19 every single month. Food/dates is $8.50. Normally we would go on dates like pre-COVID at least a couple of times a month, and we would, whatever we would spend on the date, even if we went to like Topgolf or something, we would put it in this category because it seems to make the most sense. Because all of our dates include going out to eat usually. So that's what that's for. We go out like once a month to eat now. Probably there's really not much to do with COVID, so there's that. But we also do a weekly grocery trip, which is about $125. Of course, there are kind of like 5 weeks in the month of January. So all in all, for all the things that we spend money on, food related or date related, we are going to be budgeting $850. For my student loan, it will not be due in January. For my husband's student loan, it will not be due in January. Of course, it could be that we're paying off the loans in January. We'll have to wait and see. Skipping down to retirement, again, an automatic payment of $3,000 is coming out for our excess retirement contributions. I feel like I should make that pretty clear because the $3,000 is actually for Roth IRAs, both of ours, and a joint brokerage account. So what's left after all of that major stuff is out of the way is $2,281.40. I have thrown all of that in the car maintenance line item, and that is because the truck could be closer to like $1,000 to fix, or it could be upwards of $2,000. I just figured I'd throw all of that into the car fund. Of course, if we are able to get it fixed for close to $1,000, that would mean that we would have about $1,000 left over, for which case 9 times out of 10, we would go ahead and contribute that to retirement and have our advisor, you know, grab another $1,000 from our account to contribute to our brokerage account. So that is it for our 2021 monthly budget. Again, not a whole lot going on, but I guess kind of a whole lot going on because it took me a while to get through this video and to kind of get through the budget and all of that. But for the most part, it's pretty simple. Main objective is to be starting our investment journey and kind of getting the truck fixed. Pretty much. Those are pretty much the major things that we'll have to take care of in the month of January. But that is it for our budget for the month of January for the year 2021. I'm excited to begin this investment journey again. More financial videos coming soon. Of course, I need to recap Q4 and let you guys know how I did for the business and how much money I was able to make online in Q4 despite COVID or with COVID. And also I need to share with you guys our financial goals for 2021, a whole bunch of fun stuff. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more financial videos, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.